It was 9:30 in the morning, and I was talking to my father on the phone, on one of those yellow phones attached to the wall. Remember those? He said, "Anna, the Twin Towers are on fire." And I said, "Come on, Dad, you must be watching a science fiction movie." But he almost screamed at me. So I grabbed the yellow coil cord of the phone from the small New York City kitchen all the way into the living room and turned the TV on. "You're right," I said, but it was too late, and the phone lines were dead. I woke up my husband. He came into the room, looked at the horrible 9/11 scene, and went back to bed. That day, I knew the hope of saving my marriage crumbled with the towers. That day pushed me full swing into developing my brand new personal training business, as I was dependent on my husband, and after his very non-expressive reaction in front of the Twin Tower collapse, I knew I needed to leave him. From a very young age, I always knew I wanted to help people. I started off wanting to be an ophthalmologist and discovered the cure for farsightedness, as I was being bullied as a little girl because of wearing glasses. Later on, I decided I wanted to be a physical therapist and ended up studying nursing back in my country of origin, Spain. If you haven't noticed yet, I have an accent. I was very disappointed with the conventional approach of medicine, where they were only treating the symptoms, but not the body as a whole. When I arrived to New York City in my early 20s, I discovered a method of training called super slow. I was working out half an hour a week, and I noticed that I was losing fat and gaining muscle. The low back pain from childhood scoliosis that I have experienced for years completely disappeared. For the very first time, I was able to beat my father at tennis. He didn't like it, but I did. And my mother was wondering, what have I done to improve my posture so dramatically? Being one of the tallest girls among my friends, I was always slouching. Yet, another reason to be a target. One day, this really mean boy, older than me, told me, "You don't have shoes, you have boats." That really hurt. And interactions like these ones were the ones that were making me slouch so I could try to hide my big body and, as I was told, my big feet. What I discovered is that by becoming stronger and fitter, I gained the confidence to do the things I really wanted to do in life. I discovered this new sense of power and wholeness. I felt just like Wonder Woman. No one was ever going to bully me again. My passion for fitness ignited my personal training career. I wanted to teach people this technique so they could experience the same things I had. It was not about luck. It was about God showing me the way. This deep passion for fitness and the collapse of the Twin Towers with my marriage pushed me into the business path in the health and wellness industry, and my entrepreneurial spirit was on fire. With 2 partners, after 3 years, I opened the Manhattan studio, Transform Fitness, where we train executives, high-performance athletes, certified couch potatoes, and anything in between. My vision was big and bright, and I wanted to open studios all around the country, all around the world. I was working hard and partying hard. If there are any New Yorkers in the room, and I know there are, you know what I mean. I was really going in to develop my business, and I was also realizing that I wanted to continue teaching this to people. And after a few years of doing this, I realized that it was really my passion. And with those 2 partners, I opened this studio, and we started to create this amazing place where people could come and train and enjoy the results that they were getting for that. I also realized that and what I haven't told you is that I grew up in a family, the youngest daughter after 3 brothers. It was not easy. I didn't enjoy my parents' overprotective control over me while they were giving limited freedoms to my brothers. And I was trying to find their approval and acceptance. I grew up in a family where addictions and codependent relationships were encouraged. So it's not very surprising that I ended up marrying someone to share those little things with. What was I doing drinking at that very young age? Perhaps it was the way to escape from the world that didn't really fulfill me back then. Maybe it was the way that I have learned to be as a child. It could have been the way that I knew how to have fun. All I know is the long days at work, trying to prove myself again in front of two male partners, and the craziness of the long and fun nights in the city made me want to leave the business and the city in my search for a more mindful and conscious path. I also realized I was doing business as a man. Nothing wrong with that, with the attributes of ambition and pushing things through. And I have left my female side squeezed to the side. And I knew that if I was not able to balance those two, I was never going to be able to achieve my full potential. Speaking of males, I was sitting with my partners and our coach, and I could sense there was some tension in the air. After our coach asked, "Who would like to start?" One of my partners leaned toward me, looked straight into my eyes over his glasses, which he only did when he was flirting or about to say something very important. And he said to me, "We don't want you to be the CEO of the company any longer." I don't remember his exact words because all I could feel was blood rush to my head and the need to run or hide. A couple of years follow where I was training my clients at a place energetically draining. I lost tons of money, and it was the result of not having a partnership agreement. It was hard, but just like I knew I needed to leave my husband when the Twin Towers collapsed, I knew I needed to leave the business and the city after this incident. What I learned is that when I really want something, even if I don't do much about it, it's going to happen. It was not about luck. It was, again, about God showing me the way, even through the struggle. I moved to South Harbor in the Hamptons in my search for a more sustainable lifestyle. Glamorous, right? Yes, I met some famous people and visited some incredible houses. But what I really discovered was the people that live there year-round. The artists, the farmers, the activists, people that are looking for a country lifestyle near one of the biggest cities in the world. I started managing the farmers market, and I joined the local theater group. I can still feel how much more ease, flow, and peace I experienced after moving from the Big Apple into nature. The oceans, the farms, the smells, the quiet sounds of the area were rejuvenating and re-energizing. I was letting myself let go of control. I wanted to push things to be in a certain way. And I was starting to be more open to receiving the true path that was for me. I believe in the healing power of movement and performing arts. I believe that a strong physical connection connects us stronger with our spirit. That was the first time I felt that. I felt that my spirit was so big that my body could not hold it. It was bigger than myself. It wanted to come out. Now I know this is true. I was the lead in a show called Eve. Eve was the story of a woman created by her maker. Her being very pure and innocent at first, until she meets men and follows a path of addiction and distraction, until she realizes that she can become her own maker and create what is her true path in life, that being having a child, a family, building a business, or writing a book. I felt like I was this woman. I performed this show countless times until the internal struggle I was dealing with cleared from deep within. Not only clear out completely, but the understanding of who I really was and that I needed to create a stronger connection with my real maker became brighter and shinier than it's ever been before. It was the first time I experienced how a stronger connection with my body was giving me a stronger connection with my spirit. It was also then when I started receiving the message, building sustainable communities around the world. And I didn't know what it meant then. It was only after moving to California a few years later and developing my business online that the message has been clarified and multiplied. I also wanted to have a business that I could manage from anywhere, and now it is. I train people all around the country, all around the world, even in Australia. And the message is always of empowerment to connection with the body so that can enhance with the spirit. I believe that in order to be the best I can be in life, I can not only be good at one aspect, one role, that being the mother, the wife, the businesswoman. I need to be the best I can be in my whole being. I believe I am a spiritual being in a human body, and unless I treat my body as a temple, I won't get this deeper physical, healthy connection that will connect me higher with the spirit and the reason that I'm here for. My biggest wake-up call to this was when I was playing the role of the party girl, and I got a DUI. How could I think I could be the best I can be if I was letting myself go with addictions? Never again. I learned my lesson the hard way. I have told you some of my low points, and I have also shared some of my highest points, that I opened a studio in Manhattan, that I was the star in an off-Broadway show, but most important, that I've been training clients for almost 2 decades, getting amazing results. My biggest lesson is that no matter how hard I push, it never works. It is only when I'm sincerely enjoying life and living it to the fullest that all the things that I desire come to me. Doing the hard work and putting myself in the place of receiving, but without pushing. Asking the questions and getting the answers. Letting my business and life flow and develop in its own divine time. It is not about luck. It is about God and His purpose being shown to me all along the way as I get myself out of the way and let Him do His magic with me. Even now, I strive to be the most connected I could be within my body so I can continue to connect stronger with my spirit. After going through the roller coaster of almost denial to paralyzed fear, I started to take action and started asking the question, how can I thrive in these unprecedented times? Little by little, I've been receiving the answers, and my business and life has been flowing smoothly. En esta manera de ser, yo puedo ser lo que quiera. Y no es solamente importante para mí, sino para la salud del planeta. Which means, in this new way of being, I can be whatever I want. And it's not just important for me, but for the health of the planet.